To have a family in America, my family, meant living in translation. It meant holding onto one world while raising children in another. It meant slipping between languages, between customs, between expectations like stepping stones in a fast-moving river. It meant remembering what to hold on to and what to let go of. I think back to the early years, when Lydia was still small enough to curl up in my lap, her hair smelling of talcum and soy sauce. I'd be wrapping jong, the sticky rice dumpling, at the kitchen counter, glutinous rice, salted egg, pork belly folded in bamboo leaves, while helping her glue planets onto a science fair poster. The scent of 5 Spice mingled with glitter glue. That was our life. Seamless, messy, ours. It meant cooking meals that were too strong for the school lunchroom. Fish sauce, fermented tofu, the sharp tang of vinegar and garlic. My children once asked, shyly, if I could pack them sandwiches instead. I did, for a while. But on Fridays, I packed them rice and gailan anyway. If they ask, I told Lydia once, tell them this is how strong people eat. To have a family in America meant teaching them things their classmates didn't need to learn. How to bow at funerals, how to burn incense with 2 hands, how to nod respectfully to elders, even when you didn't understand the words they spoke. These were small things, maybe, but they carried weight. They tethered us. There were days I worried that they'd drift too far, that I'd lose them to the tide of assimilation, to the world outside our windows that never quite knew what to do with a name like Hoi Lam or a dish like pig's feet stew. But then came moments, quiet and extraordinary, that reminded me otherwise. The first time Lydia corrected a professor who mispronounced her last name. The day Aaron recited a Tang Dynasty poem at a school assembly. His voice steady, proud. The evening Jay said, Ma, when I speak Cantonese, I feel like I'm visiting you and Po Po at the same time. They became more American than I ever was, but they also carried pieces of me, of my parents, of our ancestors, folded inside them like secret notes passed down a line. Lydia once said to me, "We're not torn between cultures, Ma. We are the culture." I held on to that. Because the real sacrifice of raising a family in America wasn't language, or money, or time, though all of those played their part. The true sacrifice was subtler. It was allowing them to become who they were meant to be, even when it didn't always look like me. It was saying yes when they chose peanut butter over red bean, when they chose law school over pharmacy, when they married people who spoke other languages, held other beliefs, brought other stories into our family, and still, we never lost each other. Instead, we grew. Our family became a fusion, a bridge, a celebration of both root and bloom. Tina taught me new Cantonese slang I hadn't heard in decades. Ash painted our ancestors in watercolor and gold ink. Alfonso blended cello with hip-hop and called it intergenerational harmony. Mikasa started leading cultural nights at her school, explaining Lunar New Year to kids who had never seen a red envelope. Aaron's daughter Ash once wrote me a poem that ended, "My pawpaw is an archive and a doorway." What a thing, to be a doorway. To raise children in a place that never fully saw me and still raise them to be seen. To live in a country where I once feared erasure and to build a family that couldn't be ignored. That's what it meant to have a family in America. It meant sacrifice, yes, but the kind that plants seeds. And what bloomed? A garden I never could have imagined when I first stepped off the boat with nothing but 2 suitcases and my parents' hopes.